Good morning, and thank you for joining today's event, a demonstration of Oracle ERP Cloud. My name is Steve, and I'll be your host today. As we start here, I'll just share with you how you can participate in today's event. You should see something that looks like this on your screen. Over in the top right-hand corner, you'll find the GoToWebinar pane. If you open that up, you'll see a questions box. If you have questions during the webinar today, just type your questions in and hit send. Then at the end of the event, we'll have a Q&A session and answer anything that you do submit. I'm very happy to be joined by Chuck Bequeath, a principal consultant in our ERP Cloud practice. Chuck is going to be performing the demonstration of the ERP Cloud product today. And we're also joined by Dale Zamskis, a manager in our ERP Cloud practice. Just a quick introduction to Terillium. If you haven't been on a previous session, Terillium specializes in implementing ERP products. These implementations, these projects can carry some risk with them. You've probably heard some stories of implementations gone bad, but Terillium is very proud to have won many awards for our implementation projects. We have a mantra here handed down from our CEO that we're only as good as our last reference. And so with each of these product demonstrations, I'll talk about our last reference. With the ERP Cloud product, the one that we'll showcase, we do have several, is Energy Management Collaborative. Energy Management's goal really was to automate a lot of manual processes. And they were able to do that, as you can see from the quote from the CIO there, and to bring a true digital business system into their organization. Terillium successfully implemented the ERP Cloud product and actually combined several Oracle products together successfully. From a size perspective, Terillium has about 170 full-time US-based consultants. We're headquartered in Cincinnati, but our consultants live across the U.S., so we do focus on projects all over the United States. We came up with this ERP comparison web series to help companies who are thinking about new ERP systems. That can be a pretty big and complex journey, so we thought this would be a great way to make the process a little bit easier and a little bit more successful. From a schedule perspective, yesterday we presented a Preparing for ERP session by the president of Ultra Consulting. Yesterday we also saw the NetSuite product. And today, of course, we are demonstrating the Oracle ERP Cloud product. Later this afternoon, we'll have a session where we look at the difference between cloud and on-premise ERP. Since both of those solutions exist out there in the market, this session can help you kind of think about which is better for your organization. That's at 2 Eastern. Then at 3 Eastern, a topic that most of our customers consider who have inventory, who have warehouses, and that's really automating your warehouse, using barcoding to automate your inventory, your warehouse, and look at that both from a cloud and an on-premise perspective. Then Thursday morning, we'll be presenting our on-premise solution. That's Oracle JD Edwards at 11 Eastern. And we'll wrap the series up Thursday afternoon at 2. Our president, Dave Woodworth, is going to talk about his experience with more than 500 of these projects as he presents his ERP project success factors. So if you're thinking about an ERP project, that's definitely an important one to tune into. Today, we're focusing on Oracle's Cloud ERP product. Oracle's goal really is to provide you with complete applications that are innovative with continuous automated upgrades. So you're always on the latest technology. You never get stuck in that old technology, waiting for an expensive hard upgrade. And also proven solutions. So we'll talk a little bit about what those mean. From a complete perspective, this is a look, and this is actually a little dated. There's more now, But this is a look at kind of a sample of the completeness of Oracle's applications. So the portfolio of products that Oracle provides you, we lump all of these kind of generically into Oracle's cloud solution, but this covers human capital management from HR to talent management, which is something we all struggle with in every business with the low unemployment rate. Finding qualified candidates is always a challenge, so talent management helps with that. Something we'll be focusing on a lot today is ERP, especially financials, but Oracle also has solutions for, projects, procurement, planning, as well as enterprise performance management for things like consolidations and analytics. Customer experience includes quite a few applications from marketing automation to CRM to configure, price, and quote, as well as commerce, online websites, service, and social. Then a complete list of applications in the supply chain cloud, from manufacturing to order management to maintenance and logistics. So a wide list of applications for all requirements that you have in your business. From an innovative perspective, when you look at, we talk about personalizing the UI on this slide, but really when you look at what Chuck is going to show you here in a few minutes, this is really an innovative application that looks intuitive, looks modern. Your users can start using it real quickly without a ton of training. Innovate for yourself means that Oracle has a layer of technology that allows you to customize and extend your applications, as well as, Business IQ is all about having built-in intelligence that allows you to make smarter decisions for your business. A proven business cloud, you can see, there are many customers, more than 25,000 applications customers in the world, with some very recognizable names and logos there on the right, as well as you'll see some of the results in terms of speed to implement there on that slide as well. When we talk about the cloud, the question that I get a lot is, will my data be secure? Is my system secure? I won't go into every layer of security here, but the way I like to explain this is, who's securing your data now? Is your team able to stack up with the expertise, the infrastructure, the scale that Oracle can provide in terms of securing your system and securing your data in the cloud? We have a lot of information about how secure Oracle is, but it's extremely robust, from the data center that's with armed guards to the technologies that they use at the application layer to keep your data, your system secure. Okay, so now I'll pass control over to Chuck, who's going to start our demonstration in the software. Chuck's a principal consultant at Terillium. He's in our ERP Cloud practice. Chuck is an experienced accounting professional. He's a CPA. He's been the finance lead on many, if not all, of our cloud ERP implementations, and he's configured the system, conducted training sessions in many of the applications here in the cloud. So Chuck, as I pass you screen control and you accept that, just wanted to say thanks for taking the time to show us ERP Cloud today, and welcome to the webinar.
Thanks, Steve. So I'm doing a demonstration, and my role today, the person that I'm demonstrating for is Casey Brown. And Casey Brown is the system administrator in this instance. And when Casey logs in, these are all of the modules that he has access to.
Hey, Chuck, your audio sounds great. The screen, I think you need to hit share one more time.
Oh, I think I did. Let me try.
Perfect. Looks great.
Can you see it?
Yes, that's good now. Thank you.
So these are all the modules that I have access to, and of course, all your users may not have access to each one of these, but because I'm the system administrator, I have access to all these. And this is the screen that first appears when I log in. When you're using the application, you'll see these icons at the top of your screen. They'll always appear on each screen that you're working in. And what some of these icons are, the star is favorites. If there are certain functions that you use on a regular basis, you can set them up in favorites and just go to them very quickly by clicking on that favorites. The next icon is a watch list. By clicking on this, you can quickly see the items that need your attention. Like there are some invoices that are on hold, or there's some invoices that require my approval. It's just a quick way to see what's waiting for you to act upon. The notifications, if there are some things that I need to act upon, like maybe someone submitted a journal entry that needs to be approved, or maybe in this instance down here, I submitted a requisition and it's just notifying me that it was approved. So like I said, I look at this when I first log into the system to see what is there that I need to do something on. And if you ever need to get back to this screen, this is called your home screen. You just click on this icon home and it will bring you right back to this screen. So the first area that I'm going to go into today is accounts payable. So you can see there's an icon here for payables. And I'm going to go to my payables dashboard. So the payables dashboard shows you what is there that I need to work on. Like here's some invoices that require some attention. If there were some invoices that require my approval, they would be here, pending approval from others, and so forth. Payment process requests, these are your check runs, stop payment requests, supplier sites on payment hold. Basically, this screen displays everything I need to do or what I need to track in payables. This is just in one place in payables, and it tells me at the beginning of the day what I need to act upon. So I'm going to go to my invoices screen. Here's a dashboard of all the invoices. So the scan section, these are all the scanned invoices that are sitting in a queue that need to be completed. These are the invoices that I created in the last 24 hours. Are there any invoices that are on hold that need to be looked at? Invoices that need some type of approval. And then here's the prepaid invoices. So another way to review invoices is to go to the Manage Invoice screen, which I'm going to go to here. So say I want to search for an invoice that is out there. I can just do a search here, but I can just type in the first few letters of my invoice number and do a search. And this is an invoice that I put in yesterday. And then I could open it up and review it. Another way, if there are invoices that I typically search for on a regular basis, I can build a predefined search list. And I did one yesterday. And this is my predefined search list. There's the invoice dates between 6/1 and 6/18, and then I just do a search for that. And it will bring up the invoice. I can click on the invoice line and over to the right, it gives me a summary of what's happened for this invoice. It's been created and validated. There is no approval required. It's been accounted for. I can open up my invoice. You can see what it looks like. I can review my accounting. And these are all the account distributions for that invoice. I can hover over the account combination and it'll give me a description of what each of the account segments are. I can view the accounting distributions in T accounts. You can see there's taxes here. You can set up the application to automatically calculate taxes for you. You can see the tax lines in here. I'm going to go to the payments dashboard. Again, I'm going to payables, payments. And again, it gives you a dashboard, everything that needs attention in the payments area. Stop payments. Again, I can go and review different payments through my manage payments screen. And I could, if I knew the payment number, I could enter it here. And again, I have a predefined search. I want to see all the payments for Allied Manufacturing with the payment date between 6/1 and 6/28. And I can do a search for that. And it brings up the payment. And if I click on the payment number, it'll give me all the details of that payment. You can see it shows the paid invoices. And if I wanted to see that invoice, I could just click on it and it will open up the invoice that was paid. And you can look at the accounting for that, of the payment when it was created. This is the accounting net. And again, you can do the view to T accounts. And if you hover over the account combination, you can see a description of those values. I'm going to go back to my home and look at my receivables. So I could click on one of these icons. Another way of going to the modules is through what we call a navigator. And I like this because it kind of has all of the different areas all on one page. You don't have to double click on some of the icons. So I'm going to go to receivables billing here. And again, it gives you a dashboard, all of the incomplete transactions. Is there anything that needs approval? Anything that needs to be researched? Some exceptions on some import programs, all on one page. to start my day. And then again, you can go into search for transactions. I'm going to go to manage transactions. You can search on any one of these criteria. And again, I have a pre-built search in here. And it brings up those transactions for me. I can view the accounting for the transaction. View the balance details. What's the original amount of my invoice? What are the receipts that were collected and what's the balance on it? You can look at the transaction activities. I can open it up and look at the invoice details. And if I wanted to review the PDF of the invoice, I could view the image here. And it displays the invoice for me. So these are my invoices. And I can go to look at my receipts. So again, a dashboard of all my receipts, what's unapplied, receipt batches. Again, everything I need to do today for receipts all on one page. And I can go and take a look at some of my receipts. And again, you can do a search on this screen. Or again, I have a predefined search here for all the receipts that have a date between 1/1 and 1/31/17. And these are the receipts that meet that search criteria. And I can open up the receipt. And you can see where those receipts, this receipt was applied to. Again, I can view my accounting for that receipt. I'm going to go into take a look at fixed assets. Again, it brings up a dashboard for me. What fixed assets were added to the system that are incomplete. They don't have all the information that we need. Anything that has adjustments or transfers. These additions come in from accounts payable. The system's smart enough to know that when you quote an invoice to an asset clearing account, that it automatically brings the transaction into fixed assets when you generate a scheduled process. It automatically brings in the invoice description, the accounting information, and then you can add additional information like a location or the employee that it's assigned to, maybe a depreciation method or a life. But these are what the additions are. Go to asset inquiry. have a demo search here. Fixed assets can have multiple books for GAAP and for tax. So for our corporate book here, or GAAP, it shows you all the financial information here. Source lines would be, these are what invoices were entered in accounts payable that resulted in this fixed asset. And you could click on this invoice number link and it would automatically bring you to the invoice that is related to this asset. Who is the asset assigned to? Cost history and depreciation. So everything is available. Everything on this asset is in one place. And all you need to do is click on these different links, and it'll bring you to that information. I'll show you the general ledger. So this is my general accounting dashboard. I have this account monitor. I've predefined certain accounts that I want to look at on a regular basis. So if there was like travel expenses or office supplies or something like that that you wanted to review all the time, it automatically pops up on the dashboard, and then you can enter different periods and you can click on the dollar amounts and it will bring you right to the transactions that make up that amount. Are there any journals that need to be approved? Or what's requiring attention? Maybe some things are like this is an error of some sort. This gives you a status of all the periods that are open or closed in all the different modules. And you can review the status of multiple periods in this screen. Say I wanted to look at a certain account, I can go to Inquire and Analyze Balances. I'm not sure what happened there. Try one more time. Okay. Let me go here. I'm going to show you some reports that are out there. These are predefined reports, and one that I have out there is an income statement. So here's the income statement, and the values in here are what we call parent accounts. So the parent account is materials and goods, and it has a dollar value for May of 2018. So you can expand that, and you can see what children of that parent make up that line item, and you can keep expanding it. So within material and goods is made up of all of these accounts, individual accounts. And if I wanted to see what makes up that value, I can click on it. And it has the dollar value here. And if I click on it, it will bring me into the individual journal entries that make up that report line. You can do that, and you can put graphs in your reports. You can also build ad hoc reports. So I'm just going to build a real simple one here. I'm going to create an analysis. And these are all the different subject areas that you can create a report or an analysis on. And rather than go through all of these, I know that I want to build a report on payables invoices. So I'm going to search for it here. Payables invoices transactions. What is going on there? I'm not sure what's happening here. There we go. So these are all the different subject areas in payables invoices. And I just want to display the supplier. So I'm selecting it, and these are the columns on my report. And I want to see some invoice details. I want to see my invoice number. And invoice date. So like I say, I'm just building a real simple one here. So once I've selected my columns, I click next. And how do I want to display my columns? I want to see my columns in a table. And I can preview it to see what it's going to look like. These are the columns I just selected. Just click next. If I wanted to sort my columns in a different way, I could do that here. See how it moves the columns around. If I wanted to apply a filter to my report, I could do that here. So I only want to see the supplier allied. So I'm going to filter here to only display suppliers that begin with allied. And you can see it's only displaying allied manufacturing now. And then you can save the report into a shared folder, your folder somewhere. And later on, you can go in and just access it. If you needed to, and run it. And go to General Ledger. To show you, again, I can search for journal entries by a certain criteria. I have a predefined search in here. Again, this is what your journal entry looks like. You've seen these before. When you're entering a journal, there's a way that you can, for this journal entry line that I have highlighted here, if I make this entry and I post it, what impact is it going to have on my balances? And it shows you the beginning balance of this account. If I made the journal entry, what would it do? It would create a credit to it, and my ending balance for that account would be this. So that's kind of a neat feature. I can click in the journal entry, and it shows me the transaction that created this line. This came from customer billing or accounts receivable, and it shows me the transaction information. So I have the ability now to go in and view that transaction. So it's pretty powerful. The first thing I did is I can look at a income statement, and I can drill from my income statement to the journal. I can go from my journal to the transaction. It helps if you're auditing some things and want to find out why things are happening to your account balances. It drills right from that report to the journal, from the journal to the transaction. And it's not just, it's for all the modules. It'll drill into fixed assets, accounts payable, receivables, all the modules you can drill into. So that's all I had to display today. Hopefully it gives you an idea of what the system looks like, and the power that's available to you to drill into some of the transactions, and it's very integrated. It's as a financial person, I really like it because of all the integration between the modules and the GL and the reporting. So I'll turn it back to Steve.
Great, Chuck. Nice demo. Thank you very much for doing that for us today. So we do have a couple of questions here that we'll read and answer, and I want to remind everyone that if you do have any questions about anything Chuck covered, or really anything in ERP Cloud in general, both Chuck and Dale are here to help us answer some questions. So please submit those, and we'll answer anything that you submit. As you're formulating or typing in questions, there are a couple here that I'll ask. Chuck, the first one, this kind of came up yesterday, this question, how long does it take to implement this product? So yesterday, in our session with Ultra Consulting, we talked about general guidelines for ERP implementations, and Jeff Carr from Ultra suggested a guideline of 6 to 12 months. Chuck, and Dale too, does ERP Cloud tend to fall into that type of 6 to 12 month timeline, or what do you guys see as an average implementation time?
Yeah, we were just talking about that this morning, and we agree. It's 6 to 12 months depending on the modules and the complexity that you're implementing.
Yeah, and Jeff Carr talked about kind of that 9 month as a target to have something completed in your project. That may be a phase 1, maybe just financials, but try to target 9 months. And I think that's sound advice and seems to fall in line with what I've seen from the ERP Cloud project. So thank you. Okay, next question. Oracle calls this their flagship product. What can you do in these financials that you might not be able to do in other systems? So that's a good one probably for you, Chuck. Are there advanced functionalities in cloud financials that you think you could do that maybe can't really do in all the ERP systems that you've seen?
Just what I've been mentioning all along in the demo was the drill down capabilities and projecting your balances. I haven't seen that level in other systems before, and just the integration between all the modules and the GL.
Okay, great. Those are the questions that we had from the audience. Again, as I try to talk slowly here, if you have another one, submit that and we'll answer it. If we get to the end here and we haven't answered yours, we'll be happy to follow up with you one-on-one. But I want to thank both Chuck and Dale from Terillium for joining us today, and Chuck for the good demo. Appreciate that. And to the audience, thank you all very much for taking an hour of your day. I hope that was informative, and please join us back here at 2 p.m. as we start to take a look at the difference between on-prem and cloud solutions. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Steve.